Mattawa native Annette Trudel started her nursing career right here in North Bay, had a brief stop in Galveston, Texas, and now works at a major hospital in Toronto in intensive care and also critical care units. She said a chance meeting with a nurse about 20 years ago in her hometown persuaded her to take up nursing as a career as she got older.
And I actually just decided kind of very last minute. However, in hindsight, I think it was the influence of a nurse that had helped take care of me when I was about 15 and I had food poisoning. That was really my only encounter with the medical system, and kind of just since then, it just sat with me.
The most exciting part of an exciting job? Helping people get better.
Being able to work effectively as a team. And what I mean by that, being able to work with nurses, respiratory therapists, physiotherapists, medical doctors, doctors in training, and seeing the outcome of a patient doing well. So that can be taken from like in a slower pace of a patient coming in for an inpatient procedure and then going home the same day to having a organ transplant and resuscitating them because they had a cardiac arrest and then seeing them walk out or do well.
Trudel works in one of the most high stress departments in any hospital, ICU. I asked her, how do you cope with that pressure? She said it's a question she gets all the time and has a rather interesting and complex answer.
Yeah, since the pandemic started, I mean, anytime I go through a challenging situation in life or something that I feel really challenged by, I think of history, and there's not a day that goes by where I don't think of people who had to live through the era of the Spanish flu. I mean, they went through there was First World War and then the Spanish flu, and then years after the Second World War. But um, life was really difficult then, much more challenging than today. I mean, it's some people can argue saying you can't compare times. However, the era of the Spanish flu would have been very, very challenging for everybody.
I also asked Trudel how her life has changed and occupation has changed since the arrival of COVID-19. She said it hasn't had a dramatic change, but it has changed her approach in some small ways.
No, from the beginning of the pandemic, did I feel worried? I mean, yes and no. I think sometimes I'd feel worried in the sense, did I touch my face? You know, because I'm very conscientious of washing my hands and always putting on my mask and that sort of thing. But as time went on and all the frequent COVID testing I got, I realized whatever I'm doing is good because thankfully I have not contracted COVID even from the first wave and going into very high risk zones like nursing homes, critical care response team, and in ICU. So I'm just very mindful, but thankfully the organization I work for is um, helps remind the staff as well. And they're really good with education and PP and that sort of thing.